Hey friend, it's me, Erin, your friendly neighborhood energy alchemist, and I just wanted to come on here and talk about something real quick. There's a lot going on in the world, like a lot. There's a war, there's 2 wars that I know of going on, one in Ukraine, one in Israel, and that's a lot. Not to mention all the stuff happening in the US. The Speaker of the House was fired. Do you guys realize how huge that is? And with people that follow me and that I talk to, generally there's just a feeling of unease in the air. And I want you to know, I feel it too. I'm right there with you. A lot of times, I don't get these feelings about stuff that happen in the world because a lot of it doesn't really affect me. And I know that's callous sounding and cold sounding and all that stuff, but there's genuinely nothing I can do about Israel or Ukraine or any of the political stuff going on in the US. I can't do anything about it. So I do tend to not focus on it. That doesn't mean that I don't have love for those people, but I do believe very strongly something that Ram Dass once said, and he's my favorite spiritual teacher. Did you think I wasn't going to tell you what he said? What he said was, war will never be ended by a generation that protests war. It will only ever be ended by a generation that promotes peace. And the reason he said that is because law of attraction is an echo chamber. Whatever you give your attention to is what you're going to get evidence of back. And because I can't control any of those things, I choose not to focus on them and instead focus on things that help me feel good in the moment. And I would highly encourage you to do that. You can't do anything about the war in Jerusalem. You can't do anything about the war in Ukraine. You can't do anything about the political system in the US other than vote. And it just, honestly, it feels very, very broken. But I would be lying if I told you that I don't feel like this is important, because this feels very important. Whatever's happening right now, that feeling, I've talked about this before, but ever since my awakening almost 3 years ago, I have had this massive feeling of something big coming. And although it feels very disruptive in nature, I'm not afraid of it. I don't have any fear. Just because something's disruptive doesn't mean it's not for the best. And just because it's difficult to go through doesn't mean it won't be worth it on the other end. And that's kind of how I feel about this. So during this time of uncertainty, I would encourage you to journal about the things that help you feel good so that you can focus on those and not the things you have no control over. If you start to go down the drain on this, if you start to get stuck in the spiral, do your best to focus on something else. It will really help to pull you out of there. You cannot spend all your time focused on something that leaves you feeling afraid, scared, or any of that stuff, because that's all you're going to bring to you, because that is how law of attraction works. And law of attraction is real, like faux real. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. I see all the comments that you leave on my videos, how everybody's having crazy dreams about rescuing people or about running away from stuff. Like, there's so many common themes. If you go back to the comments, there are so many people dreaming about the same sort of thing, myself included. Like last night, I had a dream. I don't remember all of it, but I was escaping somewhere and I was helping someone to leave, and I had to go down this chute, and then I was in some sort of water and I had something on my head. I don't know. But it was very much this feeling of trying to escape or get away from where I was and into something better, and there were other people with me. It is important to point out, however, that during this dream, everything that was happening, I was never scared. Never scared. And that's important because dreams are not about the visual images that you have, because your brain, your human brain, is trying to process something that is unexplainable to the human brain. But feelings are always the same. So if you go with the feeling you had in the dream, it gives you more insight than trying to go with the images. And for me, the feeling was one of escape, but it was not scary at all. I was not scared. I didn't feel like I was going to die or any of that stuff, just that I had to get out of the situation I was in. So as these dreams are coming to you, try your best to focus on the feeling they give you and not the images, okay? And please journal about things that help make you happy. That will help to turn your attention away from things that you genuinely have no control over. Do something to enjoy the weather if you can. Like, see that beautiful day outside? If you can go outside on your beautiful day, do it. Do something to help you feel better in the moment, and don't get too trapped on things that you literally have no control over, okay? That's how law of attraction works. Just saying.